Oh, once again, it's on. Oh, yeah. For you guys out there who wasn't in the know, didn't know what was happening back in those days, Alicia Keys was the hottest artist in the world. Cause I'm falling in love again. And I'm like, who is this? Playing a piano. Alicia Keys. I'm like, man, never seen her before. Then comes, you don't know my name. I said, man, I don't know your name, but I want to know it. Then comes out, everybody was trying to know her name and getting them draws, and they couldn't get it. They couldn't get it. I mean, even the game had to make a song and call her what she was. And she was living the carpet munching life. Can't say the other words, you know. But she was living that carpet munching life. And everybody's like, oh no, it's all going to waste. And everybody in the free world can say what they want to say. But the number one leader of the ugliest dude to get the prettiest chick award goes to Swizz Beatz. The nominees was Jay-Z and Beyonce, Jermaine Dupri and Janet Jackson, and Swizz Beatz and Alicia Keys. And the winner is Swizz Beatz. Well, why did this happen? Very simple. Oh man, and I'm just messing around, just having fun with it. That's what y'all do. I don't really judge dudes. So, you know, everybody else made those categories up. Just having fun with y'all. But the truth of the matter is, Swizz is the winner because of one thing. Swizz has got total control over all this chaos. Did you not know that this man was married to Mashonda? Mashonda. And I'm like, man, she was much more finer than Alicia Keys. What happened to her? I'm like, yeah, Mashonda, another singer. So he seems to seduce these women in the studio, and it works from there. Come to find out, he already had another shorty with another chick named Nicole. So him and Mashonda hooked up, and he was rolling with her, and they get married. Now, while they're married, about a year into the marriage, you know, she has their son and everything, and about a year into the marriage, Swizz decides this marriage life is stressful. After dating for years, they get married in like, I want to say 2004. I want to say that. About a couple years into that marriage, he said, I can't cut this. This ain't this ain't working out. I don't know because Mashonda really didn't take off as an artist or what, but I don't really understand it. But what I do tell you is this. This man went ahead in 2007 and went to the UK for something. Met a chick, slept with her one time, this Jahna Sebastian, another singer from the UK. And he come back home and she's pregnant. Yep, it goes that way sometimes. So she got caught up in a whole bunch of controversy with being stuck over there. So by the time his daughter was 1 year old, he finds out that he got a daughter. Now he got to break this to his wife, a chick that she didn't know nothing about. And the other chick, Jahna Sebastian, the UK singer, she didn't even know he was married. Because back in 2007, I guess she said, well, Swizz isn't, his personal life wasn't really this booming as it is now because he wasn't with Alicia at the time. So she didn't know anything and she was caught up in all this registration issues and all this nonsense. So they're working out things in their marriage. So in 2008, they're having problems and separating and all these different things. And while this is going on, he's working with Alicia Keys on some projects that she's coming out with, and they've been spending a lot of time together in the studio and everywhere else, and things are getting heated. So the wife is, get concerns like how a woman would get. That's still a husband and they got problems and stuff that they got to work out. But still, that's a married couple. So now, when she made Superwoman and all these songs, Mashonda was a fan of hers, a huge fan. So when all this situation was kicking off, Alicia Keys came out and made some statement and saying, "Happy birthday to my man, my man, Swizz Beatz." Now to the public eye, he's still married. So if somebody is still married in the public eye, you don't say that. That's just wrong. Because by saying that, what you're saying is, wow, I have no respect for what they're going through. And even if, let's say they weren't together or separated or something like that, and y'all had something going on, it's not in the public. And it's better for you that it isn't. Because by it being public, that means it's going to come out that you are possibly wrecking a family. So she was off social media. Next thing you know, she's getting all these calls that she needs to get back on social media. So right away, Mashonda did something that others didn't think she probably would do. She expressed to the whole general public everything that was going on. She was like, after having a great evening with my son and enjoying some fun, I decided to sign off and get some work done. However, a few hours later, I was advised I should get on Alicia Keys', page. And, I reached out to her on Twitter before, but I feel our issues are a lot more serious than a website conversation. Not to mention that I've reached out to her many times in the beginning of all this whole thing. And as a wife would do, unfortunately, I've never succeeded in getting a response. The first time that I met Alicia Keys, my husband introduced us at each other at an event. I had no choice but to call him my husband until, he is not anymore. In the messages that I sent to her, Alicia Keys, I made it very clear that on the contrary of what she might be hearing, I am still married to my husband, living with him, and just had a child. It's been 2 years and I still have not received a response. What do I receive? Is constant displays of selfishness and disconcern to me and my son. I was a fan of Alicia Keys' last album. We were both signed to J Records, and I've always checked up on her projects. I sung her songs. I admired her for creating Superwoman and Karma. I would never deny her talent. I believed in her until I found out she was possibly sleeping with my husband. The affair was denied by both of them until it was finally admitted months later. Already, I can hear some of you saying, why are you blaming her? You can't make someone leave their wife. You can't break something that isn't broken. Well, my marriage was not broken. As far as I knew, we were celebrating our son's birth and getting ready to celebrate our 5-year wedding anniversary. Call it blind love, whatever. I call it being a devoted wife. As far as me blaming her and not blaming him, that's false. Me and my husband have worked out our differences. We are in a good place as people and as parents. I accept his choices and I am comfortable enough with myself to move on. I am so blessed in many ways. My concern is that Alicia Keys is no longer the fact that she assisted in destroying a family, but that she had the audacity to make these selfish comments about love and wanting to be with someone even after knowing their situation. How is this the same superwoman that I sung out loud with in my truck? I ask myself sometimes. If you are reading this, Alicia, let me start by saying, you know what you did. You know the role you played, and you know how you contributed to the ending of my marriage. You know that I asked you to step back and let me handle my family issues, issues that you helped to create. I'm not saying everything was perfect all the time, but no relationship is perfect. We made a vow to God, and I believe you should have respected that. As a woman, I know you owe me or my son nothing, but I just wish you would have handle things more carefully. I'm not judging you. I put you and the whole situation in the hands of God, the higher power. Just know that as a woman, I expected so much more from you. I never had intentions of reaching out to you like this way, but after reading your tweets tonight, in the constant disregard, you left me no choice. I feel that after 1.5 years of you hiding this affair and acting like it doesn't exist, that now is the time to confront it since you talk so openly about it now. This is not a publicity stunt. I don't have a record coming out. I just need to close this chapter in my life, and that means confronting our issues. There's a small child involved. His dad loves him to death and he wants to spend more time with him, but he's afraid because he knows we don't have a relationship. This is my main concern. My son needs his dad. I need to be more comfortable with you for him. I know many will see my point and many will not be able to look into what's real because they only see Alicia Keys, the celebrity, not the human. This is not for the people. This is for you. Like I said, I was left no choice but to reach out to you this way. By now, I'm sure you want to find a balance in this as well. I read your tweets tonight, and I felt that they were very insensitive. You have no idea how much pain I was caused because of this affair. It baffled me to know you don't understand I might have gone through with this situation. I don't consider myself a victim anymore. I've learned a lot from this. I just ask that you try to be a little bit more realistic and delicate to the situation, at least until my divorce is final. I felt me attending the party would have been a starting point for us since you shook my hand after I offered it, but I suppose I was wrong. If it's so and that you and my husband are meant to be together, then God bless the both of you. And I hope you have to deal with what you did. I would not wish it on my worst enemy. If you two bring together being together forever is the case, it's more of a reason for us to get along. Because I'm not going anywhere. There's a child to be raised. To answer your tweet, choose smart over sparks. Sparks burn everyone. Be smart. It's simple, actually. Just think of the shoe being on the other foot. Stay blessed, and let's work this thing out with more respect and dignity. Mashonda, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I ask you, because you're the public, is Alicia Keys a home wrecker? Of course she was. That's why Swizz Beatz is the winner. Swizz won. This is what he was faced with. He's got a chick that he was having an affair with. He got another baby from another woman, another singer in another country who's stuck in immigration stuff. She can't move. And got another one of his kids over there. He got the situation here with his baby moms and this Alicia Keys situation. It's crazy, right? What does Swizz do? He worked it out. They are like the best of friends. Everybody think they having threesomes now. They so close. He didn't help Mashonda put out a book called Blend, and they doing the blended family vacation trips. Alicia Keys and Mashonda. He even got Mashonda to apologize, like it's her fault. I think it was very immaturely the way I handled this situation. I'm like, what? What the heck? Where did this come from? I said, man, things then turned around in her favor. So this could be a very educational moment for a lot of you women out there. Throwing a tantrum and throwing a fit and throwing the man away and trying to destroy his new relationship might not be the best move. Play the hand out. You never know what pops up. Play your hand out. Play your hand out. And the winner is Swizz. Now, anyway, it don't stop there. It don't stop there. Don't stop there, ladies and gentlemen. The rabbit hole continues to get deeper. Because he's got a daughter over in the UK that he just found out about. Remember? I mean, we know Alicia Keys know about the daughter. And she knows his situation. She doesn't care. She knows she wants Swizz. And that's it. And I'm like, this dude then took her from the carpet munchers and brought her back to the light. That's power. Swizz is winning, baby. Swizz got this award all wrapped up. Then he got this bad French chick, Jahna Sebastian. Woof. It's a powerful name. Jahna. But, but, old Jahna Sebastian, not everybody is going to be happy. Not everybody's going to be civil. You see, I how could I put this? Jahna Sebastian is very upset with everything that's going on with Alicia Keys. She's mad because she did not know Swizz was married. She did not know any of this. She was in the UK. She was doing her thing, thinking that this guy was going to help her and whatever lies Swizz had told to get them draws, he did, and she was a one-night stand. He left. She ended up getting pregnant and having a baby. But Swizz loves his children. So he will do everything he can to protect his children. And the baby and her, they were trying to seek asylum because they were afraid of like neo-Nazis and things like that. She was going through it because she's a Russian. She's trying to get a Russian asylum. She was only 21 at the time. So the Queen, I think the Queen sent a letter, if I'm not mistaken, for Jahna because they gave her like a asylum for her and her daughter. So it was quite an interesting story what happened with them at that time. But her war with Alicia Keys, that's what made it even weirder because she seems to have this disdain with Swizz Beatz, and it seemed to be centered around Alicia Keys. Where Mashonda had a point because Alicia Keys knew Swizz was married. It wasn't like she found out by surprise. She knew he was a married man. No matter if they having problems or not, you knew he was married. And you just didn't care. And then you actually shook the wife's hand after she extended her hand to you. You decided it would be in your best interest because it was beneficial to you. This is what you wanted. You didn't care about the family. Didn't care about what was happening there. You cared about what Alicia wanted. So Alicia got what she wanted. Now, they have a beautiful daughter together. And when kids are involved, it's really complicated. But when parents don't like each other, that's when it goes to another level. And she just, for 3 years, I will say this, for the last 3 years, it has been the nastiest conversation. And in my estimation, let me not put my words to it yet. I will let you be the judge first. Then I'll tell you what I think. I think it's only fair. So Jahna comes in there and says, I am speaking up now because there are women that are in the same position as me. And you talking about Alicia Keys buying a cell phone, an Apple phone, at that, for her daughter. And for some reason, this was a major problem. And Alicia Keys wanted her to call her Umi. Umi is an Arabic word that means mom, or mummy. That's where that's where the actual word comes from. Before it was mother, mummy was first. Mummy, everybody used to say mummy because that was, English comes from just trying to interpret Arabic words all wrong. Umi is mother. So Umi is, Swizz is a Muslim, so I guess she's even like imposing some of it, if not all of it, on Alicia Keys. So she believes she's Muslim now, and she's out there saying that she's making her daughter call her mother. And nothing will incense another mom than having the new girl who's living the life she wanted to live, but she's not living that life. Alicia Keys is benefiting off all this stuff with Swizz, and all of this happens. So she goes on a rant. No one takes care of my daughter but me. And I'm very careful about what people buy for my daughter and communicating these issues with me and all of these things I'm doing here. First of all, this is a problem that I need to have. She needs to contact me before she buys my daughter a phone. I mean, she ran it for a long time. And she's like, every time I try to call there, I can never get her to communicate. She don't respond back to anything, but she keeps buying my daughter things and telling her to call her Umi, and there's just things you don't do. I'm like, oh, buddy. This is things you don't do when you are a stepmother. This is not what you do. So she comes up with all these claims that Alicia Keys is jealous of her and all of this stuff, and it was just nuts. And Swizz gets involved. And this is something Swizz don't normally do. Swizz don't normally get involved in this stuff. So Swizz jumps up and says, first of all, Nicole does not own or have her own phone. Second, that's my phone. I don't use so she can call you instead of calling my phone looking for her. Instead of you calling my phone looking for her, I gave her my phone that I don't use so she can call you. Third, nobody forced Nicole to call them anything. She chose to call her Umi. I will not let any of my kids do things they don't want to do. Period. Four, we just spoke on the phone and you have none of this to say. You was all sweet and kind. You know my number. If you have a problem, call me. Knock it off. So it went crazy. And it got so intense that Swizz had to keep in there and says, why do you always plug your doggone record company every time you say something? Why you always plugging your record company? So it was huge at the time. It was very huge. This whole mess. Now, now that I went through this, I'm gonna break it down to you. Cause she claims you always yelling at me. That's why I don't call nowhere and we don't do it over the phone. Every time I try to, you think you can just yell at me and over talk me and I can't get a word in. So this is the way I'm doing it now. I'm gonna tell you this right now. She's jealous of Alicia Keys and she thinks Alicia Keys is like following her music and altering her career. This is a woman that's jealous of Alicia Keys' career. And she's mad her career didn't come out the way Alicia Keys did. And, she wanted to be with Swizz and have that life and be this couple and to see them doing this and to see the other baby, his other ex-wife, and those two going on blended vacations together, and she's the bitter one out on the side who was the one night stand. And they have a daughter together. So this is a whole different situation. But Swizz was always a gentleman to try to work this thing out. Now, I want to say thank you to you guys, man. If you want to subscribe to my page, please do so. Hit the notification button and select all when it says for the notifications. Please do that because I am tired of hearing the excuses and lies about why the video is not getting out to the people it's supposed to. It's ridiculous. Now, if you want to support my Cash App, Carcino is that name. And definitely my Patreon is Carcino for Life. We have something very explosive happening on June the 1st on the Patreon. I always, in the 1st, we kick everything off. So something explosive is coming. Now, part 5 of the Jordan story will be coming very soon. It just don't end. It keeps going. And now, for those who still here and all the people that got off, I know they probably just left and thought the video was over. Joke's on you, Jack. It ain't. So now, I will break it down to tell you why I felt the way I did about what's going on with... Uh-oh, somebody's sending me something. Oh, great. Some doggone chain message. I'm not getting involved in that. Now, here's the breakdown. So, this is exactly what Nicole said. She says, I'm not into drama. However, at this point, I am fed up. First of all, clearly, Nicole lives in UK with me her entire life. I am the one raising her on a daily basis. I gave her and sorted out her British citizenship. She was born here. We're both refugees. And I've already told you that. The step parent I'm talking about, I don't like that. Hold on. Something just went AWOL here. Okay. The step parent I'm talking about is not raising my child. In fact, she's even got in the way of things in the past, which I have been quiet about. The step parent got an iPhone X in the US that she controls for my daughter Nicole, created an Apple ID, attached her own Apple ID under family sharing, has Apple Store purchases permissions on behalf of my child attached to her account, all without my consent. This is where, when I am Nicole's real and only mother, it's only clearly stated that on Apple's website that an Apple ID for minors can only be created with the consent from the parent and usually under the family sharing of a parent. Apps and Apple Store's purchases can only be done with the parental consent. Mobile phones companies require parents to sign contracts to obtain mobile phones for their children, as there are multiple laws in place to protect the child's privacy. Nowhere does it say create an Apple ID for your stepchild. A step parent, regardless of the name in English, does not have any legal rights or consent, sign paperwork or online agreements on behalf of the child, and must consult the parent. Even the schools require parental content for the children to use the computers during lessons. It has never been done in this case. Nobody asked for my permission. This step parent does not even respond to calls or emails. Recently pretended she didn't even know who was on the line when my phone number was stored in her phone under my name. Furthermore, this step parent has violated my recent decision to temporarily restrict Nicole's access to social media like TikTok for disciplinary purposes. because it was affecting her studies. All in order to get her to move more into reading books and learning about humanity through real life instead of becoming a spoiled child. Only interested in material things and social media likes, also for protection as children, are very vulnerable to things like this online. As soon as Nicole traveled to the US, I found out that her TikTok account had been restored without my consent. Not only this is an attempt to bribe my child with an iPhone, Apple ID access to social media, but it also is a manipulation against my parenting, which can get the child confused. She does not communicate with me about Nicole at all. For the record, it's not about a better or bigger gift. I was going to give Nicole an iPhone 11 at some point, which I have already purchased. It it is trying to get liked by a child by pretending to be caring while overriding and disregarding the mother's wishes. I want my child to be raised well educated, well read, and passionate about caring about those in need around the world. Someone who can contribute to society in a positive way. I'm very caring about social media and very careful about it, as it can be both uplifting and mentally challenging for a child. There are many dangers in regarding the self-esteem of a child connected to a new area of social media. I have succeeded for a long time, but then after this last trip, I received my child back who was obsessed with social media, likes and followers, clothes and material things. After close communication with this step parent. What kind of influence is that on my child? Not only has she been disrespecting me as a parent, violating the laws in both countries, the UK and the US, but she is also destroying my child's upbringing that I have worked so hard to maintain. Also, there has been a violation of my own privacy. Nicole has signed to an iCloud account created by this step parent in the US. On the phone, the iPad I bought here in the UK, these are devices under my name. I purchased them. Nicole also has taken photos and videos of me while using this Apple ID. Not only this has made my private information accessible to this step parent without my consent or prior knowledge on the phone she got for Nicole in the US, which is where it was left. It also gave access to locations on the device here, which means access to my own location. At the same time as this iPhone appeared, the step parent started having Nicole calling her Umi, which means mother in Arabic. Even though I must state multiple times throughout the years that I do not agree with any kind of mom name for another person, I have spoken about it to her family members. It has been made very clear Nicole's brothers call me by my name, Jahna. All the other mothers are called by their names. Nicole calls them by their name. Even though she has spent time around them too, they do have love for her. If this step parent was truly for women empowerment, caring for the sisters and equality, then she wouldn't separate her status from all the other three women. That wouldn't be violating another woman's right, especially disrespecting mother's right to do things instead of mother, you know, like carrying my child, like creating my child's Apple ID without speaking to her mother first. Her attitude and her actions prove the opposite in real life. This is ridiculous and will not continue. Also, this step parent never responds to emails or phone calls herself. Instead, she complains to the family members around to get them to attack, which is a very low and cowardly tactic. P.S. I'm writing this to shed light on the situation that has been going on behind the scenes while there is a fake idea of this blended family that's promoted using my child for publicity. in reality, there's a total disrespect of another woman in motherhood going on. Also, in the family, whenever you speak up, they're trying to shut you down as if your opinion doesn't matter. Many are afraid to say something. This is a reality. I am not interested in going on blended vacations. I pay for my own on my own vacations and on my own time. I have moved on in regards to my personal life. Also, this is strictly a parenting and personal issue. I will not allow her to steal my child. It's about motherhood, and if you respect motherhood, you will understand. If not, then maybe it's about time you take a close look at your soul. Wow. Swizz was mad, y'all. Swizz was mad. You know he saw that. He was tight. He was titty tight. Like I told you, he came in and gave you that message. First of all, Nicole don't own her own phone. Second, that's my phone. I don't use. So she could call you instead of you calling my phone looking for her. Third, nobody forced Nicole to call them anything. She chose to call her Umi. I would not let my kids do some things they don't want to do. Fourth, we just spoke on the phone and you ain't had none of this to say. You was all sweet and kind. You know my number. If you have a problem, call me. Knock it off. Thank you. Also, why is it that every time you post these things, you include your music in the post directly after all these things you've done? It's like a competition asking for a friend. Woo! We all know who the friend is. Oh my God. Man, that's just, woo, that's poking a bear right there. And she's like, I've always posted my music. What do you mean? How dare you? You have my number. If there's a problem or any questions, call me as an adult. It's 2020. The line is open. Woo! Why doesn't your wife call me as an adult, or at least answer my texts or calls? And you're the only one coming after me with shouting on her or on her behalf every time I try to communicate with her? Is she not an adult? Yet you were never happy about me. Yet you were never happy about me talking to Mashonda or Nicole or Nazir's mother. I'm not going back and forth with you on this Instagram. You know my number. Yes, I do. And every time I speak about these issues with you, you never listen. You shout and try to shut me down. At least try to listen to the other side as an adult. It can not always be one-sided. So he just sends a sign. Blessings. I hope all things go in your favor. Woo! He was so upset. So whatever happened, she ended up taking this down, and it went from there. So you guys make y'all decision, man. Swizz is winning, man, but man, this dude got about 4 baby mamas all in the corners and in check, and he's running this show like clockwork. But Jahna is jealous of Alicia Keys. But I get what she's saying though about the social media and kids being too young to be on these TikToks and doing all these things, and at a very young age, it can warp their personalities. I can understand and agree with that, but I think she's using that as an excuse because she's mad Alicia Keys won't talk to her. Why does she need to talk to you? You know, you seem to be, as long as you're in contact with him, you talking to her. That's what I look like, because I'll be like, I don't even want to talk to her. I'm talking to you. That's my child over there. I raised her. She's with me. She's visiting you for this moment in time. But I raised her, and these are my rules. So you need to be checking Swizz. But she seemed to want to have some type of dialogue with Alicia Keys, and Alicia ain't going into it, and she's upset about it. And she's seeing all the stuff that's going on with Mashonda and all this, so it's like, hey, you know, it's jealousy in my book. But hey, it's just me, right? Anyway, thank you guys. Hopefully you guys can enjoy the other videos that's going to pop up here. And check them out. I already took up a lot of your time. Sorry about that. We had to get through it and give you all the facts. Deuces.